What if one small wheat penny in your pocket could be worth a life-changing fortune? In today's video, we're counting down the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies, and 7 of them have shocked collectors with unbelievable prices. Some have sold for thousands, while others are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The most exciting part? One of these rare coins could still be hiding in everyday pocket change, an old coin jar, or your collection. Stay with us until the end. You might discover that your next penny is actually a hidden treasure. First coin. The Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1945 with no mint mark, is one of the classic coins from the final year of World War II. And collectors often pay close attention to this date because it represents a historic moment in American coinage and global history. This penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally used no mint mark on its coins during that era, making the absence of a mint mark a normal feature rather than a mistake. The coin features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that was originally introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. On circulated examples, especially those that show scratches and surface wear, the fine details of Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat may appear smooth or faded due to years of handling and everyday use. The reverse side of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny displays the classic wheat ears design, often called the wheat reverse, which remained in use until 1958. In circulated condition, these wheat stalks may show flattening, and the central lettering that reads 1 cent and United States of America may appear worn or less sharp. Scratches are common on coins that have spent years in circulation, and these marks usually occur when coins rub against each other inside pockets, drawers, or coin jars. Surface wear can also affect the coin's natural shine, leaving the copper with a dull brown tone rather than the bright red color seen on newly minted coins. Despite this wear, collectors still value circulated examples as historical pieces that represent the daily economy of wartime America. The metal composition of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny returned to the traditional copper alloy after the temporary steel pennies of 1943, which were produced to conserve copper for wartime use. By 1945, copper coins once again became standard, giving the penny its familiar reddish-brown appearance. Over time, exposure to air and moisture can cause the surface to darken or develop spots, which is considered normal aging. Even with scratches and noticeable surface wear, many collectors remain interested in these coins because of their connection to the final stages of the war and the transition into post-war prosperity. In the coin collecting world, condition plays one of the most important roles in determining value. A circulated 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with scratches and visible wear is usually considered a lower-grade coin, but certain rare varieties or unusual features can increase its desirability. For example, collectors often examine coins carefully for minting errors such as doubled letters, off-center strikes, or unusual metal composition differences. These rare characteristics can turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible. In today's auction market, standard circulated 1945 pennies are generally affordable, but exceptional error coins or rare high-grade specimens have been known to attract serious attention from collectors and investors. Auction values can vary widely depending on rarity, condition, and collector demand. While most circulated coins with scratches and surface wear trade for modest amounts, unique specimens featuring rare minting mistakes have reached impressive prices at major auctions. In some extraordinary cases, rare Lincoln wheat penny varieties from this era have approached values in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, especially when authenticated by professional grading services and preserved with strong detail despite circulation. These high-value sales create excitement in the coin-collecting community and inspire collectors to search their own collections carefully for overlooked treasures. Collectors also consider historical context when evaluating a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. The year 1945 marked the end of a global conflict, and coins produced during this time circulated through the hands of soldiers, workers, and families supporting the war effort. Each scratch and mark on the coin's surface can be seen as a reminder of its journey through decades of use. Even a worn coin carries historical meaning, connecting modern collectors with the people who once relied on these pennies for everyday purchases. Authentication and grading are essential steps for anyone who believes they have discovered a rare or valuable 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. Professional coin graders examine details such as edge sharpness, lettering clarity, and the depth of scratches to determine an official grade. This grade helps establish a reliable market value and assures buyers that the coin is genuine. Coins stored carefully in protective holders are more likely to retain their remaining detail, while coins left loose in containers may accumulate additional scratches over time. Understanding the factors that influence coin value helps collectors make informed decisions when buying or selling. The presence of scratches and surface wear does not automatically eliminate value, but it does affect the final price compared to cleaner, higher-grade examples. Rare varieties, historical significance, and overall preservation all work together to determine how much collectors are willing to pay. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark remains a symbol of resilience and history, and even circulated examples continue to attract attention among collectors who appreciate both its design and the story it represents. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1946 with a D mint mark, is a classic American coin that represents the first full year of coin production after World War II, making it an important piece in the history of United States currency. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D placed below the date on the obverse side. The front of the coin displays the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already been in use for decades and remained popular among collectors due to its detailed appearance and historic symbolism. On circulated examples, especially those that have been used in everyday transactions, scratches and signs of wear are very common and often reduce the sharpness of Lincoln's facial details. The reverse side of the 1946D Lincoln wheat penny features the traditional wheat ears design that was used on pennies from 1909 until 1958. In circulated condition, the wheat lines may appear less sharp, and the lettering in the center, reading 1 cent and United States of America, may show smoothing from years of use. Fine toning is often seen on coins of this age, giving the copper surface a natural blend of brown, red, or slightly darker shades. Toning is not always considered damage. In many cases, collectors appreciate natural toning because it shows the coin has aged naturally over time. However, visible scratches across the surface still play a major role in lowering the coin's overall grade compared to mint condition examples. The 1946D Lincoln Wheat Penny was produced using a copper alloy that had returned to normal composition after wartime adjustments in earlier years. The coin's color originally started as a bright copper red, but with circulation and exposure to air, the metal slowly changed into darker tones. Circulated coins with fine toning often display a balanced look that many collectors find attractive, especially when the toning appears evenly across both the obverse and reverse sides. Surface scratches usually occur from repeated contact with other coins, and these marks are expected on coins that have traveled through many hands during daily commerce. Condition is one of the most important factors when determining the value of any Lincoln Wheat Penny, including the 1946D variety. A circulated coin with scratches and fine toning is usually graded in the lower to middle range, depending on how much detail remains visible. Key areas that collectors examine include Lincoln's hair above the ear, the cheek area, and the wheat lines on the reverse. When these areas still show moderate detail despite wear, the coin may be described as being in fine condition. Even though the coin shows signs of circulation, collectors continue to value it as a historical artifact from the immediate post-war era. In today's auction market, most circulated 1946D Lincoln Wheat Pennies are generally affordable, but rare varieties or unusual minting errors can make certain examples extremely valuable. Coins that display doubling in the letters, unusual die marks, or off-center strikes may attract strong attention from collectors who specialize in error coins. When such rare features appear on a coin that also has attractive toning and recognizable detail, the value can increase dramatically. Exceptional examples that meet strict grading standards and show rare characteristics have been reported to reach auction values in the range of hundreds of thousands of dollars, with some highly unique pieces being estimated around $410,000, depending on authenticity and rarity. Collectors who search through old coin collections often hope to discover hidden treasures like the 1946D Lincoln Wheat Penny with rare characteristics. Many of these coins were originally stored in jars, drawers, or family coin boxes, where they remained untouched for decades. Over time, the natural aging process created toning and slight surface marks, giving each coin its own unique appearance. Even though scratches may be present, a coin that still displays clear lettering and visible wheat lines can maintain collector interest and historical value. Professional authentication plays a critical role when determining whether a coin truly deserves a high auction estimate. Expert graders carefully examine the coin under magnification to confirm the mint mark placement, detect any unusual features, and assign an official grade. This process ensures that buyers and sellers agree on the authenticity and condition of the coin. Coins that receive recognized certification often sell for higher prices because collectors trust the grading results and feel confident about the coin's quality. Historical importance also adds to the appeal of the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin circulated during a period when the United States was rebuilding after wartime challenges and entering a new era of economic growth. Each scratch, mark, and tone on the coin's surface represents years of movement through shops, markets, and homes across the country. Collectors appreciate these marks as signs of real-world history rather than simple damage because they tell the story of how the coin traveled through everyday life. The fascination with Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as more collectors study their designs, variations, and historical significance. Even circulated examples with scratches and fine toning remain desirable because they connect modern collectors to the past. The 1946 Lincoln wheat penny stands as a reminder of post-war resilience and craftsmanship, and its potential to reach impressive auction values keeps collectors searching carefully through their collections, hoping to uncover a rare and valuable specimen that has survived decades of circulation. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1949, with no mint mark, is a well-known coin among collectors and represents an important period in American coin history during the late 1940s. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally placed no mint mark on its coins, making the absence of a mint mark a normal feature for coins struck at this facility. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, whose image had been used on the penny since 1909 and became one of the most recognized designs in United States currency. On circulated examples, the portrait often shows smoothing on Lincoln's hair and facial features due to years of handling and daily use. The reverse side of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny displays the classic wheat ears design, with two curved wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. Over time, circulated coins frequently develop scratches across the surface, especially on the high points where metal contact occurs most often. The edges of the coin are another important detail that collectors inspect closely. In circulated condition, the edges may show wear, small nicks, or flattening caused by constant movement through pockets, coin rolls, and storage containers. These edge marks can influence grading because they indicate how heavily the coin was used during circulation. The composition of the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny consists of a copper-based alloy, which gives the coin its familiar reddish-brown color when newly minted. However, after years of exposure to air, moisture, and natural oils from handling, the color gradually changes to darker brown shades. Circulated coins with scratches and worn edges often show uneven coloration, which is considered normal aging for copper coins of this era. Even with visible signs of wear, collectors continue to seek out these coins because of their connection to the growing American economy during the late 1940s. When evaluating the condition of a circulated 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, collectors pay attention to the clarity of the date, lettering, and overall surface quality. Scratches that appear across Lincoln's face or along the reverse wheat lines can reduce the coin's grade, but moderate wear is expected for coins that have been in circulation for decades. The edges of the coin are particularly important because heavy edge damage can lower desirability, while light edge wear is usually acceptable in lower-grade examples. A coin described as circulated with scratches and edge wear typically falls into a modest grade range, yet it still holds historical interest. The value of any Lincoln wheat penny depends on a combination of factors, such as rarity, condition, and collector demand. While most circulated 1,949 pennies without mint marks are common and widely available, certain rare varieties or unusual minting features can increase their value dramatically. For instance, collectors often look for doubled letters, die cracks, or off-center strikes that occurred during the minting process. These small details can transform an ordinary coin into a highly collectible piece. In today's auction market, rare specimens showing unusual features have sometimes been associated with very high estimated values, including examples discussed around $420,000 when rarity and authentication support such figures. Collectors often enjoy searching through old jars, inherited collections, and estate holdings to locate hidden treasures among ordinary coins. Many 1,949 Lincoln wheat pennies were stored away for years and later rediscovered, sometimes showing scratches and worn edges from earlier circulation. Each mark on the coin reflects its journey through daily transactions, whether used to purchase groceries, pay for transportation, or save for future expenses. These historical connections give the coin personality and meaning beyond its simple monetary value. Professional grading plays a major role in determining whether a 1,949 Lincoln wheat penny deserves a high-value estimate. Experts carefully examine the coin under magnification, paying close attention to the edges, lettering, and surface texture. The grading process assigns a specific condition level that helps collectors understand how well the coin has been preserved. Coins with certified grades often sell more easily at auction because buyers trust the official assessment and feel confident about authenticity. Another factor influencing value is the coin's historical setting. The year 1949 came during a period of economic growth and modernization in the United States, when coin production supported increasing consumer activity. Lincoln wheat pennies from this time circulated widely, and many were handled daily by workers, shopkeepers, and families across the country. The scratches and worn edges seen today reflect the heavy usage typical of coins from that era, reminding collectors of the role these pennies played in everyday life. Interest in Lincoln wheat pennies remains strong because they combine historical significance with the excitement of potential discovery. Even circulated examples with scratches and edge wear attract collectors who appreciate the design and the story behind each coin. The possibility that a rare variety could exist among common-looking pennies encourages enthusiasts to examine every detail carefully. The 1,949 Lincoln wheat penny, with no mint mark, continues to be studied and collected, standing as a reminder of mid-century American life and the enduring popularity of classic United States coinage. Next coin. The Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1950 with a D mint mark, is one of the recognizable coins from the mid-20th century, and it represents a period of strong economic growth in the United States. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D located just below the date on the obverse side. The front of the coin features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already been in use for decades and remained popular among collectors because of its simple yet meaningful appearance. In circulated condition, especially on coins that show scratches and general wear and tear, the high points of Lincoln's face, including the hair and cheek areas, may appear smooth or faded from years of handling. The reverse side of the 1950D Lincoln wheat penny displays the traditional wheat ears design, with two wheat stalks curving along the edges and framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. Over time, circulated coins often develop scratches and marks as they move through daily use in pockets, purses, and coin containers. Wear and tear is common on coins that have been used for decades, and this condition can result in flattened wheat lines and softened lettering. Despite these signs of circulation, many collectors still appreciate these coins because they reflect real-life usage and represent the economic activity of their time. The composition of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny consists of a copper alloy that gives the coin its characteristic reddish-brown appearance when first minted. However, after years of circulation, exposure to air and moisture gradually changes the color into darker brown tones. Coins showing wear and tear may also develop uneven surfaces or small nicks along the rim, which are typical results of repeated handling. Scratches across the surface may vary in size and depth, with some appearing as light lines and others more noticeable depending on how the coin was stored or used. Even with visible wear, many collectors find value in circulated coins because they represent a direct connection to the past. Condition is one of the most important factors that determine how collectors evaluate a coin, like the 1950D Lincoln wheat penny. A circulated coin with scratches and moderate wear and tear usually falls into a middle-grade category where some original details remain visible but not fully sharp. Key areas examined include Lincoln's hair, the outline of his coat, and the central wheat lines on the reverse. If these features remain partially visible, the coin may still be described as being in acceptable collectible condition. Even though the coin has been used in daily transactions, it still carries historical importance and collector interest. In today's auction market, most circulated 1950D Lincoln wheat pennies are commonly available, but rare varieties or unusual minting features can increase their value significantly. Collectors often search for coins that show doubled lettering, die cracks, or misaligned strikes, which can occur during the minting process. When such rare features are discovered on a coin that has survived years of circulation, its value can increase dramatically. Some highly unique examples with rare characteristics and proper authentication have been associated with very high auction discussions, including estimated values reaching around $430,000, depending on rarity and market demand. Collectors frequently enjoy searching through inherited coin collections, old jars, and forgotten boxes in hopes of discovering valuable coins like the 1950D Lincoln wheat penny. Many of these coins were originally stored without protective holders, which allowed scratches and wear to develop naturally over time. Each scratch and sign of wear tells part of the coin's story, reflecting its movement through different hands and locations. Even a heavily circulated coin carries historical significance because it was once part of everyday commerce used to purchase goods and services in communities across the country. Professional grading and authentication are essential for determining the true market value of a coin. Experts examine the coin carefully using magnification to study the mint mark, lettering, and overall surface condition. The grading process helps identify the level of wear and confirms whether the coin has any unusual features that may increase its desirability. Coins that receive certification from recognized grading services often sell for higher prices because collectors trust the official evaluation and feel more confident about the coin's authenticity. Historical context also plays an important role in the appeal of the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin circulated during a time when the United States economy was expanding and consumer goods were becoming more widely available. Pennies from this period moved through grocery stores, markets, and businesses, helping support daily financial transactions. The visible wear and tear seen on circulated coins today reflects this heavy usage, reminding collectors of the practical role these coins once played in everyday life. The ongoing interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as collectors explore different dates, mint marks, and variations. Even circulated examples with scratches and wear remain valuable to collectors who appreciate both the artistic design and the historical connection. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny stands as a symbol of mid-century American life, and its potential association with high-value auction estimates keeps collectors searching through their collections with excitement, hoping to discover a rare and valuable specimen that has survived decades of circulation. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1951, with no mint mark, is a well-known coin among collectors and represents an important era in American coin production during the early 1950s. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not place mint marks on its coins, making the absence of a mint mark a normal feature rather than a rare detail. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already been used for more than 40 years by that time and continued to symbolize national unity and leadership. On circulated coins, described as fine condition, the portrait still shows moderate detail, although small scratches and light wear may be visible across the surface from years of handling. The reverse side of the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny shows the classic wheat ears design that remained in use from 1909 until 1958. This design features two wheat stalks curving inward along the sides, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. In fine circulated condition, the wheat lines are usually still visible, but may appear slightly flattened compared to newly minted examples. Scratches on the reverse surface are common, especially on coins that spent many years in circulation, and these marks can vary from faint lines to more noticeable surface interruptions. Even with these signs of wear, collectors continue to value circulated coins because they represent real pieces of American monetary history. The composition of the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny consists of a copper alloy that originally displayed a bright reddish color when freshly minted. Over time, exposure to air and natural handling caused the surface to change to a darker brown tone. Coins in fine condition often show a consistent color, with light signs of aging rather than severe discoloration. Scratches may appear across Lincoln's cheek or near the lettering, and these marks are expected on coins that were used frequently in everyday transactions. The fine condition rating generally means that the coin still retains recognizable details, even though the original luster has mostly faded. Collectors often evaluate the condition of a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny by examining specific details on both sides of the coin. Important areas include Lincoln's hair above the ear, the bow tie beneath the chin, and the wheat lines on the reverse side. In fine circulated examples, these features remain visible, but not sharply defined. Light scratches across the surface are considered normal, especially if the coin spent years moving through pockets, drawers, and coin rolls. Although wear reduces the sharpness of the design, the coin remains collectible because of its age and historical significance. In the modern auction market, the value of a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark depends heavily on rarity, condition, and collector demand. Most circulated examples are relatively common, but certain unusual varieties or minting errors can make specific coins extremely valuable. Collectors pay close attention to doubled letters, die cracks, and off-center strikes that occurred during the minting process. When these rare characteristics appear on a coin that has been preserved reasonably well, the value can increase dramatically. Some rare and authenticated specimens connected to unique features have been associated with auction discussions reaching values around $440,000, depending on their authenticity and distinctive qualities. Many collectors enjoy searching through old coin collections, inherited boxes, and stored jars in hopes of discovering valuable wheat pennies. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny is often found in family collections that have been passed down through generations. Each scratch and mark on the coin's surface reflects its journey through decades of circulation, from small neighborhood shops to larger city markets. These signs of use are reminders of the important role pennies played in daily commerce, making them meaningful, historical artifacts rather than simple currency. Professional grading plays a critical role in confirming the value of a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny. Experts use magnification tools to study the coin's surface, checking the clarity of the lettering, the placement of the date, and the presence of any unusual features. The grading process assigns a condition level that helps collectors understand how well the coin has been preserved over time. Coins that receive official certification often attract stronger interest in auctions because buyers trust the grading results and feel confident about authenticity. Historical context also adds to the appeal of the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny. During the early 1950s, the United States experienced rapid industrial growth and expanding consumer markets. Pennies circulated widely during this time, supporting everyday transactions such as buying groceries, newspapers, and small household items. The scratches and wear visible on circulated coins today reflect the heavy use they experienced in these daily activities. Collectors often view these marks as part of the coin's story, connecting modern times with the economic life of the past. Interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as collectors explore the variety of dates and mint marks available within the series. Even circulated coins in fine condition remain desirable because they combine historical significance with the possibility of hidden rarity. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark stands as a reminder of mid-century American life and the enduring popularity of classic coin designs, encouraging collectors to examine their coins carefully in hopes of finding a rare and valuable example that has survived decades of circulation. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny dated 1952 with a D mint mark, is a notable coin from the early 1950s and represents a period when American coin production was steady and widespread across the country. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is recognized by the small letter D positioned just below the date on the obverse side. The obverse shows the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had been part of United States coinage since 1909 and remained one of the most respected and widely recognized coin portraits in American history. On circulated examples, especially those described as dull, fine condition, Lincoln's hair and facial features often appear less sharp due to years of handling and normal circulation wear. The reverse side of the 1952D Lincoln wheat penny features the classic wheat ears design that collectors recognize immediately. Two wheat stalks curve along the sides of the coin, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. In circulated condition, scratches are commonly seen on the reverse surface, particularly across the wheat lines and lettering. Dull, fine condition means that the coin has lost most of its original shine, and the copper surface may appear flat or muted in color rather than bright. This dull appearance usually results from years of exposure to air, moisture, and frequent handling, which slowly changes the coin's surface texture and tone. The copper alloy composition of the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny originally gave the coin a reddish appearance when it was first minted. However, as the coin circulated through everyday transactions, natural oxidation caused the color to darken into shades of brown. Scratches may appear across both the obverse and reverse sides as the coin moved through pockets, cash drawers, and storage containers. Even though scratches and dullness reduce the visual sharpness of the coin, many collectors still appreciate circulated examples because they carry signs of real use and history. These visible marks reflect the journey the coin has taken through decades of circulation. Condition is one of the most important factors when collectors determine the value of a coin, such as the 1952D Lincoln wheat penny. A coin described as dull fine typically retains moderate detail in key areas while showing clear signs of wear. Collectors closely examine Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and the strands of hair above the ear to judge how much detail remains. On the reverse side, the clarity of the wheat lines and the central lettering also helps determine the coin's grade. Scratches that appear light and evenly distributed may not be as damaging as deep or heavy marks, but they still influence the overall condition rating. In today's auction market, the majority of circulated 1952D Lincoln wheat pennies remain widely available, yet certain rare varieties or unusual minting characteristics can significantly increase their value. Collectors often search for coins that show doubling in the lettering, unusual die cracks, or off-center designs that occurred during the minting process. When these rare features are discovered, even on circulated coins with dull, fine surfaces, they can create strong interest among collectors. Some exceptional coins with rare attributes and verified authenticity have been linked to auction discussions reaching values around $450,000, especially when demand among collectors is high. Collectors frequently search through old collections, coin jars, and inherited storage boxes, hoping to discover valuable examples of Lincoln wheat pennies. Many of these coins were stored without special protection, which led to the development of scratches and dull surfaces over time. Each visible mark on the coin tells part of its story, reflecting its movement through countless transactions. Even in dull, fine condition, the coin remains historically significant because it once played a role in everyday financial activity across American communities. Professional authentication is essential for anyone who believes they may have a valuable 1952D Lincoln wheat penny. Coin grading experts carefully examine the coin using magnification tools to verify the mint mark, identify any rare features, and determine the level of surface wear. The grading process assigns a recognized condition level, which helps collectors understand the coin's quality and market value. Certified coins often sell more easily at auctions because buyers trust the professional evaluation and feel confident about authenticity. Historical significance also adds to the appeal of the 1952D Lincoln wheat penny. During the early 1950s, the United States experienced growth in manufacturing, consumer goods, and population expansion. Pennies from this period circulated widely through local businesses, grocery stores, and transportation systems. The dull appearance and scratches visible today reflect years of heavy use during this time of economic development. Collectors appreciate these marks as evidence of the coin's connection to real historical moments and daily life. The continuing popularity of Lincoln wheat pennies ensures that collectors remain interested in dates like 1952 with the D mint mark. Even circulated examples with dull fine surfaces and scratches are valued for their historical importance and collectible appeal. The possibility that rare varieties may exist among ordinary-looking coins encourages enthusiasts to examine every detail carefully. The 1952D Lincoln wheat penny stands as a lasting symbol of American coin history, reminding collectors of the craftsmanship, circulation, and potential value that make these coins fascinating to study and collect. The Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1953 with no mint mark, is a well-known coin among collectors and represents an important time in the history of United States coinage during the early 1950s. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark, making the absence of a mint mark a normal feature rather than a rare detail. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, whose image had been used on the penny since 1909 and continued to symbolize leadership and unity across the nation. On circulated examples, especially those showing scratches and environmental damage, Lincoln's facial features often appear smooth or faded due to years of handling and exposure. The reverse side of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny displays the classic wheat ears design that remained in use until 1958. Two wheat stalks frame the central lettering which reads 1 cent and United States of America. In circulated condition, the wheat lines may show flattening, and scratches across the surface are commonly visible. Environmental damage is another factor that collectors watch carefully, as it usually results from exposure to moisture, soil, or chemicals that slowly affect the copper surface. Coins with environmental damage may show dark spots, uneven color patches, or rough textures that were not part of the original minting process. Even with these imperfections, circulated coins still attract attention because of their age and connection to history. The copper alloy used to create the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny originally gave the coin a bright reddish appearance. However, over time, environmental exposure often changes the coin's color into darker shades of brown or black. Environmental damage can occur when coins are stored in damp locations, buried in the ground, or left in containers where moisture collects. These conditions can create corrosion marks and surface discoloration that reduce the coin's visual appeal. Scratches often appear alongside environmental damage, especially when coins are handled frequently or stored loosely with other metal objects. Although these signs of wear reduce the overall condition, they also reflect the coin's long journey through everyday use. Collectors determine the condition of a circulated 1953 Lincoln wheat penny by carefully studying the amount of detail that remains visible. Important areas include Lincoln's hair above the ear, the outline of the coat, and the clarity of the lettering on both sides. Environmental damage can make grading more challenging because it affects the surface in uneven ways. Even so, if the date and mint details remain readable, the coin can still be considered collectible. Scratches across the surface may appear shallow or deep, and the degree of environmental impact often determines how much value the coin retains compared to cleaner examples. In the modern auction market, the value of a 1953 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark depends greatly on rarity, demand, and the presence of unusual features. Most circulated coins with scratches and environmental damage are relatively common, but rare varieties can significantly increase value. Collectors often search for doubled letters, die cracks, or unusual strike patterns that occurred during minting. When such rare features appear on a coin, even one affected by environmental damage, it can still attract serious collector interest. Some rare and authenticated specimens connected to special varieties have been associated with auction discussions reaching values around $460,000 when supported by strong evidence of rarity. Many collectors enjoy examining old coin collections and inherited coin jars in search of valuable wheat pennies. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny is frequently found in family collections that have been passed down through generations. Environmental damage often tells a story about how the coin was stored or lost over time. For example, coins discovered in outdoor locations or old storage areas may show corrosion or staining that reflects years of exposure to harsh conditions. These marks provide clues about the coin's past and help collectors understand the journey it has taken. Professional authentication is extremely important when determining the true value of a coin like the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. Grading specialists carefully examine the coin under magnification to verify authenticity and evaluate the level of damage. They look for consistent minting details, accurate date placement, and any unusual features that may increase value. Once a coin is officially graded, collectors can better understand its market position and estimate potential auction prices. Certified coins often sell for higher amounts because buyers trust the reliability of the professional grading process. Historical context also plays a meaningful role in the popularity of the 1953 Lincoln wheat penny. During this period, the United States was expanding economically, and pennies were used daily in shops, markets, and transportation systems. The visible scratches and environmental damage seen today reflect the heavy use these coins experienced during that time. Collectors appreciate these marks as evidence of the coin's connection to everyday life, reminding them that even small coins played an important role in supporting the economy. Interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow because they combine history, craftsmanship, and the excitement of potential discovery. Even circulated examples with scratches and environmental damage remain appealing to collectors who enjoy studying their details and searching for rare varieties. The 1953 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark stands as a reminder of mid-century American life, and its possible connection to high-value auction estimates keeps collectors motivated to examine every coin carefully, hoping to uncover a unique and valuable example hidden among ordinary pieces. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny, dated 1955 with no mint mark, is one of the most talked about coins among collectors because it belongs to a year known for famous varieties and strong collector demand. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins traditionally carried no mint mark, making the absence of a mint mark a normal feature rather than a mistake. The obverse side of the coin displays the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, whose image had appeared on pennies since 1909 on circulated coins, especially those described as surface-fine condition. Lincoln's portrait still shows recognizable detail, although small scratches and signs of use are clearly visible from years of handling. The reverse side of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny features the classic wheat ears design that remained in use until 1958. Two wheat stalks frame the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, creating one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. In circulated condition, scratches often appear across the wheat stalks and lettering, particularly in the central area where contact with other coins usually occurs. A coin described as surface fine typically shows moderate wear, but still retains enough detail to clearly display the wheat lines and lettering. This level of preservation makes the coin attractive to collectors who appreciate older coins that have been used but not completely worn down. The copper alloy composition of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny originally gave the coin a bright reddish color when freshly minted. Over time, exposure to air and natural oils from handling caused the surface to change into darker brown shades. Scratches across the surface are common on circulated coins, and these marks are usually caused by contact with other coins in daily transactions. Even with visible scratches, a coin in surface-fine condition may still display a balanced appearance without severe damage. This combination of wear and remaining detail is often seen on coins that circulated for years before being stored in collections or containers. Collectors carefully evaluate the condition of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny by examining specific areas of the coin. Lincoln's hair above the ear, the cheek area, and the outline of the coat are important indicators of wear on the obverse side. On the reverse side, collectors study the wheat lines and the sharpness of the central lettering. In surface-fine condition, these features remain visible but slightly worn, showing that the coin has been used without losing all of its original detail. Scratches that appear shallow and evenly spread are considered typical for circulated coins, while deeper marks may reduce the coin's desirability. In the modern auction market, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny holds a special place because certain rare varieties from this year are highly valued by collectors. While most circulated examples with scratches and surface wear remain common, rare minting errors, such as doubled lettering or unusual die varieties, can increase the value dramatically. Collectors around the world often search carefully for coins from this year because of the famous doubled die variety that has gained wide attention in numismatic circles. Exceptional specimens with verified rarity have been associated with auction discussions, reaching values around $470,000, especially when supported by strong collector demand and professional authentication. Searching through old collections, coin jars, and inherited storage boxes is one of the most exciting parts of coin collecting. Many 1955 Lincoln wheat pennies were stored for decades without protective holders, leading to the scratches and surface wear commonly seen today. Each visible mark on the coin reflects its journey through circulation, passing from one person to another in daily transactions. These signs of wear are often viewed as part of the coin's character, connecting modern collectors with the history of everyday life during the mid-20th century. Professional grading plays a critical role in determining the true market value of a 1955 Lincoln wheat penny. Experts use magnification to examine the coin's surface closely, confirming the absence of a mint mark and identifying any unusual features. The grading process assigns a condition level that helps buyers and sellers understand the coin's quality. Coins that receive official certification from recognized grading organizations often attract higher interest at auctions because collectors trust the reliability of the evaluation and feel confident about authenticity. Historical significance also adds to the popularity of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny. During the mid-1950s, the United States experienced rapid growth in industry, transportation, and consumer markets. Pennies circulated widely in grocery stores, service stations, and local shops, supporting everyday purchases. The scratches and wear visible on circulated coins today reflect this heavy usage, reminding collectors of the important role small coins played in daily financial life. Even in surface-fine condition, the coin remains a symbol of the economic activity that defined the era. Interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as collectors study different dates and varieties within the series. The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark remains especially fascinating because of its association with well-known minting varieties and collector excitement. 1955 Lincoln wheat penny holds a special place because certain rare varieties from this year are highly valued by collectors. While most circulated examples with scratches, coins that receive official, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark remains especially fascinating because of its association with well-known minting varieties and collector excitement. Even circulated examples with scratches and moderate wear are valued for their history and collectible appeal. The possibility of discovering a rare and valuable specimen encourages collectors to examine each coin carefully, making the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny a lasting symbol of American coin heritage and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny dated 1956 with no mint mark, is a familiar coin among collectors and represents one of the final years of the wheat reverse design before it was replaced in 1959. This coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins traditionally carried no mint mark, making the absence of a mint mark a standard feature for this location. The obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced in 1909 and widely respected for its historical importance. On circulated examples, especially those showing surface scratches, Lincoln's hair and facial features may appear smooth in certain areas due to years of continuous use. The reverse side of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny shows the traditional wheat ears design with two curved wheat stalks placed along the left and right edges of the coin. These wheat stalks frame the central lettering that reads 1 cent and United States of America. In circulated condition, scratches are often visible across both the wheat stalks and the central lettering, especially where coins frequently came into contact with other metal objects. Surface wear may cause the fine lines in the wheat to become less distinct, although the design usually remains clearly recognizable. Even with visible scratches, collectors still find these coins interesting because they reflect decades of circulation and use. The copper alloy composition of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny originally produced a bright reddish tone when the coin was first minted. Over time, exposure to air, humidity, and handling gradually changed the surface color into darker shades of brown. Surface scratches are commonly seen on circulated coins and may vary in depth and direction depending on how the coin was handled or stored. Some coins display light hairline scratches, while others may show more noticeable marks across Lincoln's portrait or the reverse design. Despite these imperfections, circulated coins with visible surface marks continue to attract collectors who value historical connection over perfect condition. Collectors examine the condition of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny by focusing on specific areas that reveal how much wear has occurred. On the obverse, Lincoln's cheek, jawline, and hair details are important indicators of preservation. On the reverse, the clarity of the wheat lines and lettering helps determine the coin's grade. A circulated coin with surface scratches usually falls into a lower to mid-grade range, depending on how much detail remains visible. Even though scratches may reduce the overall grade, coins that retain clear dates and readable lettering remain collectible and historically valuable. In the modern auction market, most circulated 1956 Lincoln wheat pennies are considered common, but rare variations or unusual minting features can make certain examples extremely valuable. Collectors often search for coins that display doubled lettering, die cracks, or unusual strike patterns created during the minting process. When such features are discovered, even a circulated coin with visible scratches can become highly desirable. Exceptional coins with verified rarity and strong collector demand have been linked to auction discussions reaching values around $480,000, especially when authentication confirms unique characteristics that separate them from ordinary examples. Many collectors enjoy exploring old coin collections, inherited jars, and long-stored boxes to locate hidden wheat pennies. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny is often found in these collections because millions were originally produced and circulated widely throughout the United States. Over time, these coins developed surface scratches and marks as they moved through daily transactions. Each scratch represents a moment in the coin's journey, reflecting how it passed through different hands, businesses, and communities. These marks give the coin a sense of history and character that appeals to collectors who appreciate the story behind each piece. Professional authentication and grading play a major role in determining the true value of a coin, like the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. Experts carefully examine the coin under magnification to verify the date, confirm the absence of a mint mark, and identify any unusual features. The grading process assigns a condition level that helps collectors understand how well the coin has been preserved over time. Coins that receive official certification are often more desirable because buyers trust the accuracy of the grading and feel confident about the coin's authenticity. Historical context also adds to the appeal of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. During the mid-1950s, the United States experienced steady economic growth, and coins like these were used daily in shops, transportation systems, and markets. Pennies played an important role in small purchases, and their frequent use resulted in the surface scratches seen today. These signs of wear serve as reminders of the busy commercial activity of the time, making each coin a small but meaningful artifact of American history. Interest in Lincoln wheat pennies continues to grow as collectors learn more about their variations and historical significance. Even circulated examples with visible surface scratches remain popular because they connect modern collectors to earlier decades of American life. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark stands as a symbol of durability and craftsmanship and the possibility of discovering a rare variety among ordinary coins continues to inspire collectors to study each detail carefully, hoping to uncover a valuable specimen that has survived many years of circulation. Next coin, the Lincoln wheat penny dated 1957 with a D mint mark, is one of the last wheat reverse pennies produced before the design changed in 1959, making it an important piece for collectors who follow the final years of the Wheat Penny series. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small letter D located just below the date on the obverse side. The obverse features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that had already been used for nearly 50 years by this time. On circulated examples, especially those showing scratches and toning, Lincoln's facial features may appear smooth in certain areas where natural wear has reduced the original detail. The reverse side of the 1957D Lincoln Wheat Penny shows the classic wheat ears design that collectors recognize instantly. Two wheat stalks curve along the sides of the coin and frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. In circulated condition, scratches often appear across the wheat lines, especially in areas where coins frequently made contact with other metal surfaces. Toning is also common on coins of this age and usually appears as darker shades of brown or mixed reddish tones across the copper surface. Natural toning occurs when copper reacts slowly with air and moisture, creating a color change that many collectors find visually appealing. When this coin was originally minted, it displayed a bright copper red color, typical of newly produced pennies made from copper alloy. Over decades of use, the metal surface gradually darkened, forming the toned appearance often seen today. Circulated coins with toning may show a balanced color pattern that adds character to the coin, although scratches from repeated handling are usually present as well. These scratches are often caused by movement through pockets, coin rolls, and storage containers. Even with visible scratches and toning, circulated coins remain collectible because they represent real-world use and the passage of time. Collectors evaluate the condition of a 1957D Lincoln Wheat Penny by examining specific details on both sides of the coin. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair above the ear, the cheek area, and the outline of the jawline are key points that reveal how much wear has occurred. On the reverse, collectors study the clarity of the wheat lines and the sharpness of the lettering. A circulated coin with scratches and noticeable toning usually falls into a moderate condition category where the main design elements remain visible but show clear evidence of use. The presence of toning does not always reduce value, especially if the color appears natural and evenly distributed. In today's auction market, most circulated 1957D Lincoln Wheat Pennies are widely available, but rare varieties or unusual minting errors can significantly increase their value. Collectors often look for double die features, off-center strikes, or die cracks that form during the minting process. These unique characteristics can transform an ordinary coin into a valuable collectible. Some exceptional examples connected to rare varieties from this year have been discussed in auction markets with estimated values reaching around $490,000, particularly when the coin has been authenticated and shows distinctive minting details that separate it from standard issues. Many collectors enjoy searching through old jars, inherited coin collections, and storage boxes, hoping to discover valuable wheat pennies like the 1957D variety. These coins were produced in large numbers and circulated heavily, making them common finds in household collections. Over time, exposure to air and handling created the scratches and toning often seen today. Each mark on the coin's surface represents part of its journey through daily transactions, from small purchases in local shops to exchanges in busy marketplaces. These signs of use give the coin historical depth and make it more interesting to collectors who appreciate its past. Professional authentication plays a major role in confirming the value of a 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny. Experts use specialized magnification tools to examine the mint mark, date, and surface characteristics. The grading process assigns a condition level based on the remaining detail and the extent of scratches or toning. Coins that receive official certification from trusted grading organizations often achieve higher auction results because collectors rely on professional verification to ensure authenticity and accurate evaluation. Historical significance adds another layer of interest to the 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny. During the late 1950s, the United States was experiencing economic expansion, and coins circulated widely through grocery stores, transportation systems, and service businesses. Pennies played an important role in everyday purchases, and their frequent use resulted in the scratches and toned surfaces visible today.